Welcome to Pet Allies Adoption Minute, sponsored by Sholo TV. I'm Jill Tinkel, and I have my little co-host Odie back on the air with us again. And he's like overdoing it today. He's just found 3 different guests for 3 different segments because he's been gone. He was out very, very ill for several months actually, and he's back on track and he is ready to roll. Nice. So that's why he has you here today. And we didn't even know he could dial the phone, but here you are.
Here I am.
Yeah, here's Nikki, and Nikki, I have her card here, is a certified dog behavior consultant. Now I'm really puzzled as why Odie would bring in a dog behavior consultant. He wanted to make some things very clear with you, though, that he doesn't have any bad behaviors.
Okay.
So he doesn't want you to make any innuendos.
Earn any treats today, then?
Nah, he doesn't want to make you make any negative connotations about little dogs or terrier types or anything that he'll kick you off the show. Actually, so you'll have to be really careful about his feelings, about this.
It's all right, Odie.
Okay, so Odie says whatever, just as long as you refer to other dogs and not him.
And not him.
So
right.
Other dogs besides Odie have issues. I guess you know that.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So what's one of the things that you want to talk about today? We're gonna have some fun with this. He says he might even have you back. It just depends on how this goes. I guess if you don't refer to him, we're all good. Okay. So he did want you to talk about little dogs and maybe an issue that a lot of little dogs have. Not him.
Okay. So a common issue can be having dogs maybe bolt out the door and not being able to get them back. So a really good way to start having your dog come back when you call them is to start, first of all, you're going to teach the behavior indoors first. So you're not going to try and do this when your dog is already in the act and they've already bolted through. So to begin with, you have to put in a management solution, and that could be as simple as you put a baby gate up at the door so they're not actually able to run through now. So that could be a really nice management solution while you are teaching, and in the behavior term it's called a recall. So when we are teaching a recall, what we want to do is, I'm just going to stand up and demonstrate, and Odie's fine, he can stay on your lap. But what we want to do is we're going to start off at a very short distance, so the dog might be only 5 foot in front of you. That's all we're going to start with. And
now, are they leashed or not?
They're not leashed. You can try on a leash. If you have to do this outside, you can try on a leash, but if you're inside, you don't have to have a leash on. So your dog's just 5 foot from you, and then you're just going to ask them to come. So you'll step back, and you're going to say your dog's name, so it'll be Odie. And he will look up at me. There we go, a little bit.
Not too much effort given here, but yes.
Then I'm going to move back a little bit. So it'll just be, Odie, come. And then he should come in, and then you're going to ask for a sit and reward. And with the recall, you want to reward it every single time with something super high value. So what they remember is that word actually equals cheese or equals chicken. So you want to use really high value, nothing like kibble or just your average dog treat. So you start inside first, and then you want to increase your increase your distance. So maybe inside you work up to where you can now call them from 20 feet, and maybe they're in the kitchen sniffing, and you can try it that way. So you can ask them to come, but remember you're always moving back to bring them in, and then ask for a sit. Reward them all the time, and when they can do that successfully inside, then you would take that outside. And at that point, you're either working within a contained area like your yard, a fenced-in yard, or if you don't have a fenced-in yard, at that point, yes, they would have to be on a leash, but a long line can work really well. So a long line is basically a very long leash. It's not an extendable leash. It's just a very long leash, maybe 20, 30 foot, that you can start to practice these behaviors out in the yard. And then when you can do that successfully out in the yard, then you might want to try it like if you take them out on a hike, you can try there. But it's that nice succession, that nice slow way of doing it inside first, so there's hardly any distraction. Always reward and always be excited when they return to you.
Sounds all great, doesn't it? It always works 100% of the time, right? I love it. Well, Odie,
it does.
Good job of bringing Nikki on here. I think that's great. So
thanks, buddy. Thanks for the call.
I think, I know he does some miraculous things. It's amazing now that he's feeling better. So I'm pretty sure that he'd like to have you back. And on his show, this is his show. You got to remember that, though.
Absolutely. Yep. If he can, just let me know the next time, and I'll be here to give another behavior tip.
That is awesome. Okay, so what we need you folks to do is go to our Facebook page, and we want you to answer the question, what's the behavior tip that you would like Nikki to answer? I bet not all dogs are like Odie, perfect. I mean, others have issues, and not him. So we want to find out what's going on at your house and what trick you'd like to fix at your house, and we'll see what Nikki has to say on Odie's show next month. How about that, Nikki?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next month.
Exactly. We thank you for joining us here today on Sholo TV for Pet Allies Adoption Minute. We hope to see you at the shelter.
If you would like more information about the shelter, its monthly events, or to schedule an adoption outside of regular hours, please visit www.PetAlliesAz.org or call the shelter at 928-537-8009.